Guys, welcome to today's video. So the other review that I am doing today is Oud for Greatness by Initio. So Oud for Greatness by Initio was launched in 2018 and it's classified as a unisex fragrance, but I personally think that this smells a lot better on a man. So I'll just quickly show you what the bottle looks like. So you've got like a black bottle with a gold detailed sticker on the front, and then you've got the cap, sorry. You've got the name of the brand, and then you've got like a design around the neck of the cap as well, and that kind of clicks in. And at the bottom as well, you've got a sticker just telling you the name of the fragrance, that it's eau de parfum, and also the size details. And then this design with the eye and everything is particularly interesting, but let's not get into that. So Oud for Greatness by Initio obviously was, and still is actually, a super big hit. It's liked by so many people. It's so famous and one of the most popular fragrances on the market. This for me though is particularly difficult, I'm going to say, and quite confusing, in the sense that on a good day this will be like so attractive. I will find this really attractive. But on a bad day, this can actually make me feel sick. So I'm going to get into that in a second. So in this, you've got top notes of saffron, nutmeg, and lavender. You've got middle notes of oud, and you've got base notes of patchouli and musk. So I'm not going to spray this on me right now because I am a little bit tired and I feel like it's going to make me feel sick if I spray it. So I'm not going to spray it on me today, but I have tried it out on a number of occasions. And obviously I've had different experiences every time, so I'm gonna tell you now what I think of this fragrance. On my skin, when first sprayed, I get like nutmeg, saffron and oud. On the blotter, however, I get lavender, saffron, some musky hints and very minimal nutmeg. That I found quite interesting. And on the blotter, the scent doesn't come across as masculine as it does on skin when you first spray it. So that to me can be quite misleading, because if you're in a store and you spray it on a blotter and then you buy it on that basis, it will be very different on your skin, in the sense that it comes across more nutmeggy, I think, on my skin. And actually I tried it on my husband as well and I thought the same. It came across the same on him too. So with this one, I definitely recommend you to spray it on your skin if you want to try it out in store. You can spray it on the blotter as well and obviously see how the two compare, and then you might kind of understand what I'm talking about. But yes, they are very different on blotter and on skin. So just be careful obviously when you're trying it out, and try to get all the information before making a decision on buying this, because it is quite pricey. The projection of this is amazing, as you must have already heard. Obviously it's known for its projection as well. It literally fills up the room and lasts absolutely ages, but I'll cover that in a second as well. So to me, I didn't find this like a complex fragrance. It's mainly about the oud and the patchouli, hints of like musk, nutmeg and saffron, and obviously the nutmeg and the saffron are more dominant at the start. You do also get like some hints of lavender, so that's the other comparison I found between spraying it on me and spraying it on my husband. So on me, I didn't get any lavender, but on my husband, I could feel the lavender, so that was another difference. After about 2 hours on my skin, the scent becomes more about the musk and the patchouli and the oud. So you've got that woody, earthy scent with oud, and then you've also got some musk. It doesn't become like dark though with the oud and the patchouli, and I think that's because the musk is always detectable. And I think that's what kind of pulls it out from the darkness. So this is a fragrance that I would recommend for the autumn winter season. I think it would come across very differently in the heat. You might even annoy some people around you because of how strong it is. But in cold weather, because of the warmness that it gives off, it actually feels quite attractive rather than cozy. I also think that this is a evening/night scent, so you can wear it during the day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I personally think that it's more suited for the evening and the night, especially for a man in a suit, because it definitely evokes like that classy, rich man type of feeling. So at the 2 hour mark, you still get those sweet saffron hints that you were getting at the start, and also hints of nutmeg. So I think that this progressed a lot faster on my skin as compared to my husband. As I mentioned, on my husband, I was also getting hints of lavender, which I wasn't getting on my skin. So recently, I've been asking my husband to try out the fragrances with me, because I think it's important to kind of analyze as well and show you guys how fragrances can work differently on each person. There are some notes which don't lift off with my skin heat, and in this I think lavender is one of them. Some people actually say that this is quite similar to Baccarat Rouge as well, but I think that they are quite different. I mean, I think in the air, if you get a whiff of that sweetness from the saffron, it may potentially remind you of Baccarat Rouge, but I think Baccarat Rouge is actually a lot sweeter, and the sweetness in Baccarat Rouge is also thicker, and I don't like that thick sweetness scent in Baccarat Rouge actually. This one, you see, this is what I was talking about when I said that it's a very confusing fragrance for me, because on a good day, when I'm okay, I can find it attractive, but if I'm feeling like overworked or run down, or I'm just generally feeling ill, then this fragrance can actually make me feel sick. And I think it's that sweetness from the saffron that makes me feel sick. And that's why I think that people kind of compare it to Baccarat Rouge a little bit. But they are actually overall very different. And when you smell it directly, they are completely different. As I said, I think it's just like when it's in the air and you get that whiff of that sweetness from the saffron, then maybe you might think that it's a little bit similar to Baccarat Rouge. But actually, overall, they are both completely different fragrances. So overall, this lasts more than 10 hours on skin and projects for at least half of that time. And on clothes, it lasts more than a day minimum. This is the first fragrance where I've had like a split opinion about the scent, obviously. And this is the first fragrance where I found that it can make me feel good and it can make me feel sick as well on a different day. So yeah, as I said, this is a very confusing fragrance for me. But as I said, it's not a complex fragrance, sorry. It's mainly about the oud and the patchouli in the dry down, and then obviously in the opening you've got like the saffron, the nutmeg and the lavender. I do recommend you try this out though before you purchase it, because number one, it's quite pricey. Number two, it comes across differently on different people. And number three, it comes across differently on the blotter as compared to on your skin. So obviously fragrances will come across differently on the blotter anyway. But sometimes you will find that they will have some similarities. It's just that on your skin, the fragrance will progress a lot faster as compared to a blotter. This one I found was quite different actually, and noticeably different, and one that you do have to take into consideration before buying. So yeah, that is Oud for Greatness by Initio, guys. If you have any questions, then you can let me know in the comments box below. Otherwise, I hope I've covered everything, and I'll see you guys soon.